Do do do.
I don't know why Mildred or Anthony were killed or by whom, but
I want to make sure they
it
hear
didn't have
me.
anything to do with our past conflicts here. I want to say that the time to forgive is now.
I want to make sure y'all hear me. Let me know if you hear me
Because Henry Marwood and I are in love.
when you get in here.
That is
Trying something different.
and I've accepted it. In going
Dun,
public
dun.
now, I hope we will persuade others that it's time to bring peace to all.
Mm, mm.
Come on, everybody. I say bravo to Peggy and Henry for having the courage to forgive the past and look to the future.
Whoop, whoop. Let me know.
Well, if you finished, Peggy, we'll return to the business at hand.
You guys hear me?
In the midst of life, we are in death.
What's up? What's up?
Now do you trust me?
No,
I'll turn that down a little bit.
I will not have everything my family has worked for given up to a Marwood. So what'll happen? Will she bring him here? Let him just
Can you hear me,
take
Latanya?
over?
I just want to make sure because I got these other headphones on. I just want to make sure. Can you hear me?
She hasn't taken leave of her senses. I can't believe you're even thinking of her.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yes, I will. I'll check out. I'll check out the link. I will. Hope everything is well with everybody, loud and clear. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. Go Red. What's up, Switchblade? Switchblade. How you doing? How you doing? City Hall, City Council. Ain't nothing really happened today down there. As far as, of course, no budget or anything was passed. Um, Brandon Riley basically has asked for um, some information on certain departments, and he still hasn't gotten his stuff that he wants. So nothing happens. Annette Guzman, she is the budget director. She says that they're still in midst of negotiations with alders. We're in the midst of hearing their ideas. We're in the midst of running numbers based on what they're asking. Um, Now was told that he went from 300 million to 150, was 300 million and 150 million to now maybe 60 million. So yeah, people tired. People tired. I have realized that I am shadow banned from YouTube, but I'm going to continue to do these even when I have a small amount of people that watching because I know that I am shadow banned because I'm out here keeping it 100. I'm out here fighting the establishment. They don't want my voice to get out here, because I ain't doing no goofy stuff. I ain't acting a fool and doing all that stuff. So, because I look at my numbers before I was even doing this to now, I barely don't have that many people watching. But when I'm done, I do know that my numbers are a little bit different. I guess when people go back and look at it. Um, but I ain't really, I ain't tripping off of that because I'm doing this because People need the information. So I don't care if it's 13 people, 14 people, 20 people listening, base 400, 500 people, cool, because eventually it's gonna get out there. And yeah, so I just want to know what alderman when it comes to that when it comes to him, I just want to know what alderman he conspired with, cause I got a good 3 minutes for him tomorrow, and I want to make sure all my facts are straight because he messed around and found out. I don't got no time for that old man. And one thing about me is I don't care if you 8 or 82. Don't disrespect me or don't disrespect my family. I don't care about that elders thing or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect um what I'm doing. Don't disrespect my mom. Don't disrespect black people. And when you say that you are a concerned citizen and all that, now you just like the rest of these weirdos because you getting paid and your issue, your problem was that you was acting too much. You know, he went and got the Make Chicago, Make America Great Again hat on and yelling for Trump and yelling Go Red and going to some of the MAGA rallies. And whoever he worked for down there was like, nah. And he had to get back in his other mode. Uh, And yeah, that's his problem. He mad. But yeah, so anybody got the information of who was that older person that he conspired with to take that rental assistance money? I'd be greatly appreciated if that's sent to my messages or my email. Mysterious. Like I said, I don't tell nobody nothing. In order to because he got me all the way messed up. You know, I'm out here fighting for us. Like, at the end of the day, the city of Chicago, Cook County, and a lot of other states and cities are taking our properties, are pushing us out, and and ain't nobody talking about it. So if he was a concerned citizen, the way that he said he's a concerned citizen and he for black people, he would have figured out why they keep stealing black people property. But he probably in on it as well. So you know it doesn't even matter. Just like when Bob Floretti gonna tell us the other day, me and Miss Jessica the other day on a Zoom call that if we got any issues with our property, go down there and talk to George Blakemore. Are you crazy? I'm talking to him for. Yeah, yeah, all these people is weird, you know, and they've been weird, but they need to understand that I don't give no f's. Okay, I've always been like this. Okay, somebody gonna take it there. I'm going to take it to Hell. You talking about my mother? You talking about my family? You talking about like you don't do that. You talking about black people. You talking about like damn, if they do this to your own family, they do this to your own godparents, they do this to your own blood. Imagine who else they do this to. You can't allow stuff to continue to happen like this. So that little flip floppy stuff that he done did for the last week because they done sat him down and told him, you know who you work for. He ain't getting the information back to them like he's supposed to be getting the information to them. Now I knew there was something wrong with him, you know, but I really couldn't, you know, at first it was he just gay, you know what I'm saying? So he just being a queen. Then start realizing like it really started getting to his head. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, he crazy. You understand? And now it's to the point now he done lost it because whoever he worked for down there is basically putting the pressure on him. See, and it ain't working. But it's not gonna work because you're dealing with two adults, right? That came down there on a housing issue. One person had a will, the other person had a deed, trust. So that's it. Uncomfortabletruth.lifestyle.com. That's how you can get it. Death Valley, wrong, find troll. Go to somebody else's. page and figure it out. Okay, figure it out. But anyway, um, I'm gonna continue to be down at city council, at Cook County board meetings, at committee meetings, everywhere until the city settles my family's case. That's how this works. How about timeout? How about that? Now you're gonna be in timeout trying to figure out if I'm a male or female. How about that? All right. Now you can figure it out. Do a tic tac toe. Try to figure it out. All right. Now, so basically, they talked to old boy today, the worst mayor on earth, like I call him. Danny called him the worst mayor in history. New York Times voted the man the worst mayor in history. They say our credit is about to be dropped down because ain't nobody talking about they don't know what they're gonna do with this budget. Because at the end of the day, everybody down there know that they gonna lose their job if they don't start speaking up for their constituents. The black aldermen down there know it's a problem too, right? Because the black Chicago done went full red on these people. Okay, don't care, ain't trying to hear nothing. Okay, last year, last year, December 13th, 2013, right? This is when I had got arrested and they had told Starks to come to my meeting. On my court date, and they told him that what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Um, that I could not come down there. I couldn't come down there until after my case was finished. I should have never been arrested. And that was the day I should have really stopped talking to George Blakemore as well, because when I was getting locked up, when I got kicked out, when I shouldn't have got kicked out, any of this is when they had me go through all these obstacle courses when I first was coming down there, because I really was wilding when I was coming down there, because I ain't know. All I know is that y'all ain't y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. Like this crazy. But when they were arresting me, this man, all right, find somewhere else. All right. This man, he always got his phone up. Always be ready. Always be ready to record, right? That man put that phone back down so quick. What up, Skills? We got, man, Skills, one of the coldest artists. You got to see what he's making, man. It's beautiful, and y'all gonna really see like how invested I'm in this. But anyway, he put his phone down, and that's when I should have realized right there. That's the second time you don't put your phone down when it came to these police trying to arrest me coming into these meetings. But not understanding that, oh, you work for these people. You work for the city council. You work for Daily, probably. You still probably work for Daily. You probably. Oh, I know you on the payroll. So that's what you want. But anyway, December 13th, last year, when I was at home, because I couldn't come down there, I was like, for the last 60 days, this was still around budget. They were still trying to figure out the budget thing. I think they had just passed the budget. It was just weird, but he was blaming all that on Lori Lightfoot. But I said, for the last 60 days, I've sent an email to the Chicago Inspector General requesting that they look into the accounting of the $640 million. Now, mind you, that was December 13th, 2023, that I said $640 million. The key players in the illegal immigration scheme are Carlos Ramirez Rosa, 35th Ward, Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, 33rd Ward, Michael Rodriguez, 22nd Ward, Andre Vasquez, 40th Ward, Beatrice Ponce de Leon, Deputy Mayor of Immigrant, Migrant, and Refugee Rights, and Christina Paya Zacon Paces, whatever that other one, that's that chief of staff. She's been on here too. As far as making Chicago great again, the Black Democratic leadership in Congress show that they have no black agenda. That's why they have allowed all this money to go to everyone but black Americans for decades. The only way the Democrats should be voted back in, find and secure the black agenda, pay the debt America owes us, give us our money, you weak ass government, apologize to black Americans and say we will never try this stuff again. And I said, as far as locally, flip Illinois red on principle. That's what I was on last year. That's what I was on last year because I wasn't getting no help from the federal level to the state level down here to the city level. So it was like, well, the only thing that you can do is change this. And that's what people need to understand. Like the bigger you get mad because Trump is in there, locally, this place need to be changed. Illinois ain't right. The city of Chicago ain't right. Cook County ain't right. Okay? And it's a Democratic city. This ain't the Republicans doing this. And with the help of these black elected officials in Chicago, Illinois, that are statues that can't do nothing for you. So they ain't never seen someone consistently come down there. Miss Jessica never's been arrested down there, none of that stuff. So she consistently went down there. When I got back in there, when I was able to come back in February, I consistently went down there. I came back with a Make Chicago Great Again hat. Like, y'all want to play these games? We flipping Illinois red. That's always been my thing because ain't no way in the world this a democratic city and y'all playing with people like this. Ain't no way in the world that you got all these black elected officials in these places, these heroes, these leaders, but they can't help you with them violating the Fifth Amendment, which is the U.S. Constitution, also in the Illinois Constitution, which is the law of the land. You can't get no higher than the U.S. Constitution. So if they don't rock with the U.S. Constitution, clearly the Democratic Party in the city of Chicago and Cook County, well, I'm going to go over here to the Republican Party because Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln was the one who signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln was the one who started with the Reconstruction era. You know, this is Illinois. Let's at least try it now. Now it's going on 2024. You know, because ain't nowhere in the world we still this behind in 2024. Like I sued Delta for the violation of the First Amendment. I didn't think about when the Constitution was made and all of that. I know that they violated the First Amendment, so I'm going to sue them, and I won with the evidence proving that they were wrong. And they had, even though they were trying to say, like, how are you going for the First Amendment? Yeah, because it's the First Amendment, baby. It's the First Amendment. And I won. And they were mad because I won. So that's why I'm just not understanding how my family got all of the evidence, voicemails from the city of Chicago Law Department, letters on letters on their letterhead, the city of Chicago, and we still ain't gotten our money yet. But you out here finding all this money for the illegals. You done went broke. We down to a $1.2 billion deficit for the illegals. You down here making promises, telling Trump you're gonna protect these illegals. But you can't protect two black women that's coming down there for their mom. What type of man are you? What type of black man are you? You clearly didn't love your moms. You could not love your moms. And that be the problem. So that's why a lot of people don't understand what it is. How about now I'll give you one more time. If you say something else, going to timeout, baby. But yeah, So yeah, I don't care about anything right now. Don't come and bring me no distraction. George Blakemore, that's a distraction, okay? That's an 80-year-old Republican political reject, okay? They never let him inside. So he been miserable and mad every day. So that's the problem. Okay? You down there as a concerned citizen, you down there for the people. There ain't nowhere in the world you shouldn't say any crazy stuff about anybody's family, but he getting paid to be down there. And that is the problem. People like that, like a George Blakemore, is the reason why King no longer here. The reason why Malcolm X no longer here. The reason why Fred Hampton's not here. They always got somebody like that around. And that's my goal, to get them people around. I get them people out of here. Like, because we ain't gonna do like how y'all let Al Sharpton stay out here not doing nothing for us. Y'all, I'm not gonna be out here like how y'all have Jesse Jackson out here not doing nothing for us. Okay, you got people like Tamika Mallory. She a new person. I'm going to, so that somebody said, one of the girls in our group, I really want to sit down with Tamika Mallory for what? She a coon too. They all coons. They don't know how you can party and still be for the people. So we gonna end them little coons right now. We're gonna start pointing them out right now. Angela Rye, all the people who can't help, all the people who can't help, all these lawyers. Angela Rye, a whole ass lawyer out here. You a lawyer, Angela Rye? Roland Martin, you got a whole platform. Ain't nobody watching you like that. You need some younger people on your platform that's out here fighting. You crazy. But I'm the coon. You sound crazy. But anyway, this is about, as you know, right? Biden. Biden pardons is his son Hunter. No. Um and I want to say first and foremost, I don't care. Like, I would pardon my son as well. I pardon my child as well. You understand that? That ain't even the issue. But my thing is, if you gonna pardon your child, you got a whole lot of other people to pardon. Cause just 26 people that you've pardoned in these 4 years ain't a lot for all the people you done put in jail from the 94 crime bill. Okay? This man keeps showing you who he is, and everybody keeps brushing it under the rug and keep going on Trump and MAGA people, the J6 people, all of this. It's okay for him to do it. Yeah, you absolutely right. But we need to keep it 100. We got to keep that same energy. The Democrats can do the exact same thing the Republicans do, but the Republicans do it. They wrong. They the racists. They wrong. That don't make any sense. Biden been showing you who he really is, and y'all still voted for him. You know, one of the things that Miss Jessica was talking about yesterday, I was saying I loved how her son told her about, the reasons why he was voting, you know, Republican, brought a whole thing, right? And I was like, I'm glad that you didn't go off on him or anything like how everybody else going off on their kid. How dare you vote for that person, or how dare you da da da? Like, you actually listened to what your son was saying and why he was voting this way, right? She says, well, of course I would. I knew who Joe Biden was. I knew that 94 crime bill. I knew that three strikes law about him. I knew about that. So I knew who Joe Biden was in 2008 when he mysteriously became Obama's running mate. She said also, you know who else knew? Tavis Smiley, um, Jesse Jackson. She said one. I think Al. Did she say Al Sharpton? I don't know. No, I'm not sure if it's Al Sharpton, but I know she said for sure Tavis Smiley and that thing that leaked what Jesse Jackson said about Biden and all that stuff. So they already knew what it was. And that is when people should have started asking questions or saying things with Tavis. They should have they with Tavis. When Tavis, they said Tavis was going hard to the point that he lost. He's never been able to get back to what he was, what Tavis was. And Tavis Smiley was a good person to listen to. I remember my mom listening to Tavis Smiley. I remember um Tom Joyner used to have Tavis Smiley on. So this man breaking down the facts, but nobody not caring because at the end of the day they see, well, Obama's a black man. You understand? And we got to go with the black man, not knowing that Joe Biden was the same Joe Biden. But nobody don't say nothing about that. So Tavis Smiley saw it pointed out. Jesse Jackson, they catch him say something, it leaked. He said something about it, but ain't nobody was ain't like where was the rest of the people? Where was the people now? Like where was the people now? Right? So on her saying that, it was like, okay, it makes sense, right? Because she knew who this man was. Just like Californians knew who Kamala Harris was and what she was about as a attorney general, as a prosecutor. They already knew what type of person she was. So that's why it wasn't everybody wasn't yeah, California knew what it was. Majority of them, they started coming out saying stuff. People start reaching out and saying certain things that Kamala Harris did back then and to certain people and stuff like that. But they was pushing all them interviews down at the bottom, down at the bottom. You know, just like how y'all pushed all them interviews down when it came to Joe Biden and the crime bill. All right, Charlotte, have a good one. 'Cause y'all be talking just crazy, all that. That was too much. Anyway, start talking crazy. I don't even know if that was for. All right, y'all hear me? I might gotta put this back in. Do y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? All right, just want to make sure. Okay, yo. All right, what up, Ugwa? All right, so anyway, we gonna sit here and talk about. So, like I said, I wasn't really tripping off of the pardons, but when Donald Trump was in office, he pardoned, commuted, or rescinded the convictions of 237 people. Joe Arpaio, former sheriff, county, Arizona, was convicted of contempt of court for refusing to end the practice of immigrant roundups and was awaiting sentencing pardon on August 25th, 2017. Shalom Rabushkin, an Iowa meatpacking magnate, sentenced to 27 years in prison for bank fraud in 2010. He was commuted on December 20th, 2017. Christian Saucier, a former U.S. Navy sailor who pleaded guilty to unauthorized possession and retention of national defense information of 2016, released the following year, pardoned on March 9th, 2018. Louis Scooter Libby, former chief of staff to the vice president of the United States, convicted of perjury and obstruction of justice in connection with CIA leak scandal. The sentence was already commuted to time served by President George Bush in July 2007. Shortly after Libby's conviction, pardoned on April 13th, 2018. Jack Johnson, a champion boxer who was convicted in 1913 while traveling with his white girlfriend for violating the Mann Act, which made it illegal to transport women across state lines for immoral purposes, released after 1 year, pardoned on May 21st, 2018. Man, that was 1913. He did in 2018. Violating the Mann Act. Come on, man. We've been dealing with a lot. Dinesh D'Souza, author and documentary filmmaker, convicted of campaign finance violations in 2014, pardoned on May 31st, 2018. Alice Johnson, an unemployed parcel driver, delivery worker, and first time drug offender sentenced to a life without parole in 1996 for conspiracy to possess cocaine and attempted possession of cocaine and money laundering, commuted on June 6, 2018. I remember reading about Alice Johnson. How about you can go somewhere else? Yes, I'm about to go through the whole thing. This is for the people who want to listen. You, Richard B, always come back on some trolling stuff. Go find you something else to do. Okay? Dwight Hammond and Steve Hammond, father and son Oregon ranchers convicted in 2012 of 2 counts of arson on federal land, commuted and pardoned on July 10th, 2018. Now they set fire to federal land. And I can't get mama. Michael Bahena, former United States Army First Lieutenant, who was convicted in 2009 of murdering an unarmed prisoner during the Iraq War, sentenced to 25 years in military prison, paroled in 2014, pardoned on May 7, 2019. And I'm doing this too because MAGA, Trump don't do nothing. So we're going to read what he's done. Okay? Conrad Black, a British newspaper publisher, convicted in 2007 of fraud and obstruction of justice for scheming to, to spin off millions of dollars from the sale of newspapers, spent 3.5 years in prison and was deported, pardoned on May 15, 2019. Look, somebody was deported and he's still pardoned in May 15, 2019. Pat Nolan, former California state legislator who pleaded guilty to racketeering in 1994, served 2 years and 2 months in prison, pardoned on May 16, 2019. Zay Jeffries, a mining engineer and former vice president of General Electric, he was convicted in 1948 of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 and fined. Died in 1965. He was pardoned on October 10th, 2019. My man is pardoning people that already died. Matthew L. Goldstein, a U.S. Army officer who served in the war in Afghanistan. He was accused of murder after 2010 killing of an unarmed Afghan bomb maker who was a prisoner of war and the U.S. Army had opened an investigation of him in 2016. Pardoned on November 15th, 2019. Clint Lawrence, a former first lieutenant with the 4th Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division in the U.S. Army, and veteran of the war in Afghanistan, he was convicted on 2 counts of second-degree murder for ordering soldiers in his platoon to open fire at three men sitting on a motorcycle in southern Afghanistan. In July 2012, while his platoon was on combat patrol, during the trial, all platoon members testified that the men were sitting unmoving on a motorcycle. While the defendant claimed the motorcycle was approached at high speed, he was sentenced to 19 years in prison in August 2013 and sent to Fort Leavenworth. He was pardoned on November 15th, 2019. All right. How about this? Woo-hoo. All right. Rob, you know the governor here. Balajovic, whatever his name was. Rod B., former governor of Illinois, was charged with attempting to sell an appointment to the U.S. Senate to succeed President-elect Barack Obama. He was convicted of soliciting bribes, extortions, and wire fraud on June 27, 2011. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison, commuted the time served on February 8th, 2020. Bernard Kerik, former New York City police commissioner, pleaded guilty to tax fraud and perjury in 2010 for concealing apartment renovations paid for by a contractor that the city had blacklisted because of suspected ties to organized crime. Sentenced to 4 years in prison in 2010, released in May 2013, pardoned February 18th, 2020. Roger Stone, a longtime political friend of Donald Trump, and was convicted in November 2019. Now, I just want to let you know, Roger Stone, he said a long time political op and a friend of Donald Trump. Okay, so this is the same equivalent to what my man Biden did. He pardoned his son, right? Okay. Was convicted in November 2019 on charges of witness tampering, obstructing an official proceeding, and 5 counts of making false statements in the course of inhibiting the investigation of the Trump campaign by Robert Mueller. He was sentenced to 40 months in prison, but on July 10th, 2020, party commuted the sentence before Stone reported to prison. Trump pardoned Stone on December 23rd, 2020. My man did Susan B. Anthony, Michael Flynn, retired United States Army Lieutenant General and the 25th National Security Advisor. Flynn withdrew his original guilty plea for making false statements to the FBI, and federal district judge Emmett G. Sullivan had ruled the matter to be placed on hold. Flynn was pardoned on November 25th, 2020. Kodak Black, you already know, I love me some Kodak, an American rapper who confessed to lying on the background checks associated with purchasing firearms during two separate instances, commuted on January 2021, already has served nearly half of his 46-month sentence. Now, President Biden, he pardoned in April, they say 26, 2022. Biden issued three full pardons and three full pardons. Abraham Bolden, the first African American Secret Service agent assigned to the Presidential Protective Division, he was convicted of bribery in 1964. Biden granted clemency to two nephews. Now, this is the one I wanted to talk to, right? Um, Biden granted clemency to two nephews of Nicolas Maduro's wife involved in the Narcos Sobrinos affair as part of a prisoner exchange. In return, 5 American detainees, including oil executives from Citgo 6, were released. Now, Nicolas Maduro is the Venezuelan president, okay? The one who emptied out all of his jails, and they're here, the gang, Trena de Agua. Now, he did this on October 21st, 2022. Okay, he granted clemency for two nephews in exchange. But I'm just like, I need y'all to understand this. Nicolas Maduro, that's the Venezuelan president, and we're going through all of this illegal immigration stuff. Okay, with Venezuela, CTU going over to Venezuela. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, like, none of it's all because of the oil situation. Like, none of it's making any sense. October 6, 2022, Biden pardon. They said approximately 6,500 individuals convicted of simple possession of marijuana under federal law via proclamation of 10467. This excluded non-U.S. citizens and individuals without legal immigration status time for their arrests. Approximately for simple possession under a federal law. Um, the Nicholas Maduro one, that's the one that got me. And December 20th, 2023, he pardoned a Colombia businessman, Alex Saab, during a prisoner exchange with Venezuela. He did a lot of stuff with Venezuela, and ain't nobody really was talking about it, and they all over here. All the Venezuelans is over here. They marching and they in the schools. They coming in there like little soldiers. They over here on South Shore shooting at each other and stuff like that. So like it's not making no sense. You understand? It's a lot of situations when it comes to Venezuela, Biden, the clemencies, to prisoner swaps with Venezuela. You know, I don't know. Anyway, December 1st, 2024, though, Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, who had been convicted in June 2024 for illegally purchasing and possessing a firearm and pleaded guilty in September 2024 to 9 tax-related charges. The pardon, described as broadly crafted, including clemency for the tax and gun offenses, and extended to any potential federal crimes Hunter Biden may have committed between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. This time frame encompassed his tenure with Ukrainian gas company Burisma and his overseas business dealings in China. They're just playing in our face. They're just playing in our face. Now, President Biden, he previously vowed to not pardon his son because he didn't, incited Hunter's Biden's selective and unfair persecution as the reason for his decision, alleging it was politically motivated. Yeah. So, like I said, again, I don't care that he really pardoned his son. It's just the whole situation that uh it's just the whole situation that if Trump do anything like this or anybody on the Republican side, it's all this crazy stuff like white people like y'all because y'all see the Republican Party is just like all these white people, right? So you're just saying like, well, white people are getting away with this, they're getting away with the other, but the same white people are doing it on the Democratic side, but because you got stuff like um Joe Biden saying stuff like, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black enough, or him standing next to Obama. So y'all forgetting that he did the 1994 crime bill. I guess it says yeah, 1994 crime bill. You know, the 1994 crime bill, formerly known as the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, was a sweeping piece of legislation signed into law by President Bill Clinton, another person that y'all swear is black because he got some head in the Oval Office. You know, like it's starting to make us think that we might be a little special ed for real. You understand? Like we give these people pardons and grace on the black side. I mean, on the Democrat side, but let these same people do the same thing. What they're doing on the Republican side is racism, it's misogynistic, it's sex, it's all this crazy stuff. Like I'm just saying. Championed by then Senator Joe Biden, the bill aimed to address rising crime rates in the U.S. during the 1980s and early 1990s. While it included provisions for crime prevention and victim protection, the bill has faced significant criticisms for its role in mass incarceration. Of course, you done locked all the drug dealers out. You done locked all of the investors up. That was the investors in the hood. They was trying to clean their money so we could start doing what we need to do. But you done locked all them up. The weed people, all they locked everybody up to turn around and give us dispensaries. Turn around and pardon your son. It's crazy. Y'all introduced the three strike rule. The last, the it's people that's sitting in prison right now on some petty shit, petty things because of that third strike. That third strike. I mean, these were mandated life sentences y'all were giving people for repeat offenders of three strikes. Not no rehabilitation, not no going to get them to see about mental health resources or anything like this. This was straight putting these people in prison. Kids, teenage boys and young boys losing their innocence. Losing their innocence. When I say losing it, like being forced to do stuff that they don't want to do. But they gotta be a man in there. Y'all never cared. You increased funding to build prisons. You were encouraging states to adopt harsher sentencing laws. These two Democrats that did this in 94, they started early getting the man out of the house so y'all can act like two parent like in the black community, two parent homes don't matter. That the black man has always been the man to be put in the prison system, and they really don't care and try to take the black man down any type of way, child support, any way that you can do. These two great men that y'all love, President Bill Clinton and President Joe Biden, but Trump is the issue. But like God, I don't know what that was. Okay, but I'm just trying to tell you, this is crazy. More federal funding for law enforcement. They allocated over $10 billion for law enforcement agencies to hire more police officers back then to get our men out the house. I'm not saying all. They couldn't think about just us policing our own communities, all that stuff. Big money. Big money. That's why we can't. That's why like when you look at stuff like like our grandparents and great grandparents, and when you look at old movies from back then or old pictures and stuff, whatever you have, you see the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and how the families together and how proud the man would come home and be like, I'll give my check to my wife. You know what I'm saying? She pay all the bills, you do all that stuff. Proud to be there and to get that. She's proud to make the food for her and her kids, like all that stuff. But when it came to the 80s and 90s, they took all that away from us. They took all that away from us. That's crazy. You know, they created the community oriented policing services, cops, to bring more to improve community policing, but they weren't community policing. If we have community policing going on in our neighborhoods, we wouldn't even be like this. Not as bad as we are. We bad. Like we at the bottom. Bad. We at the bottom to the point that these people don't even understand that we had a state of emergency. This ain't a human thing. This is a black thing. And we keep getting played because ain't nobody talking about financially what we owe. We could be mad and get upset and all that stuff, but financially, y'all been holding us back for a very long time. Like I said, you put our banks, our investors, you put them in jail. Turn around and give us dispensaries. Ooh, crazy. But just part of your son. You had the truth in sentencing incentives provided financial incentives to states that implemented policies requiring violent offenders to serve at least 85% of their services. They was getting financial incentives. So financial money, anything to states, to a state, the federal government was giving extra money if you implemented policies to keep a person in there for 85% of their life. That's crazy. That's crazy. Expansion of the death penalty added over 50 new federal crimes punishable by death, including certain drug related and non-violent offenses. We just lost two black men this year. They had the one to proof. Two people came out and said that they was innocent, and they still was killed because they probably still getting money for every death, every death penalty. Anybody that does 85% of sentences. We really need to see if truth in sentencing is still something that's happening because it probably is. Focus on violence against women. Well, I don't even know what that's going on because there's so much domestic violence and sexual assault that's still going on to this day. And now you've got the raggedy judges that when women are asking, can they get a restraining order or can they get some more protection? The judges are saying no, and then next thing you know, they end up dead the next week, 2 weeks later, and they just told you, they just came in here asking you to give them some better protection, or they need something that's better than the restraining order. He's coming out. One came out of prison. She was telling him, she was telling the judge, like, look, ma'am, like, look, Your Honor, I really need something. He's coming home. I don't feel safe. Da 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 da. Judge was like, nah. He come home 2 weeks later. Wait, I think maybe about 3 weeks later. He done killed the son. Killed her son. All right. You know what? I'm gonna hide user from this channel, and then yeah, Richard B is done now. He'll never be. He's gonna have to make a whole new. Richard B is gonna have to make a whole nother YouTube if he wants to come back. Cause now you weird. All right. So yeah, but anyways, that right there, I don't even know if they probably didn't put $1 in Wawa. Violence Against Women Act. I don't even think they put it down. I got to see how much they put on that bill because I don't think it probably was about $3.50. Youth and gang prevention programs. Well, I think when they had Dare was working, but they took Dare out, but Dare was working. I mean, and it really was hitting home for now now the people my age group or a little bit older or maybe a little bit younger because when they thought they was gonna drop that fentanyl in our communities, we was like, hell no. I watched New Jack City. I saw Pookie. We had Dare. People grew up with their family members on drugs. Like hell no, I would never do that. So with the fentanyl about to try to come back, that didn't work. Um, the bill contributed to a significant rise in incarceration rates, especially for nonviolent drug offenses. Nonviolent drug offenses. It impacted Black and Latino communities. Um, they had a mandatory minimum sentence. I know in New York, they're calling it Rockefeller laws. Cause I mean, people was getting. I mean, they was getting crazy time like you done killed somebody, crazy time like you took, like, man, they didn't care about they didn't want to rehabilitate nobody. They was getting money off of that punishment, and that is another reason why we are owed economic resources. That really messed us up between crack and then mass incarceration. This crime bill, it messed us up. Messed up the family, messed up the friendship, messed up a whole bunch of stuff. That's why we out here. That's why people looking at me crazy. That's why I'm out here. Well, so now I got my little tribe, but when I was out here, it was just at that time. Thank God I met Miss Jessica because I really was losing friends over fighting. Um, so me saying that is because Joe Biden, he was the chair of the Senate committee at that time, Judiciary Committee at that time. He was a key architect of that bill. He strongly advocated for its passage, and you can see the video when he's really going in. He emphasizes the need to address the violent crime and drug trafficking. You know, and they say that he has since expressed regret for aspects of the legislation, particularly its role in mass incarceration. Well, if that's the case, then I need you to pardon everybody. Then, since you pardon people, pardon everybody. There's 10,000. Nina Turner said today there are roughly 10,000 people in federal prison for nonviolent weed offenses. Pardon them. Pardon them. It's always going to be a troll. Here it is, Ridge House. Okay. Now I did talk about Trump party. Bishop, you just got here. So, dude, I grew up during that time. Nobody told anybody consume drug, and the crime was out of the world. There was a lot of violence. The crime bill was necessary. I lived there. I don't care what you lived in. It affected a lot of people. Dude, dude, troll. Now, I want to talk about this cocaine that was found in the White House because ain't nobody. The cocaine was found at the White House last year, and nobody ain't talking. They just brushed that under the rug. Now, if that would have been Trump, if that would have been J.D. Vance, if that would have been Obama, we'd be talking about it to this day. To this day. In July 2023, a small bag of cocaine was discovered in the west wing of the White House, near a vestibule used to store personal items before entering the area. The discovery prompted an immediate investigation by the U.S. Secret Service, which included chemical testing and a review of security footage, visitor logs, and forensic analysts. Testing confirmed the substance was cocaine, but the investigation failed to identify a suspect due to insufficient physical evidence, such as fingerprints or DNA. No relevant surveillance footage was available. Come on, man. The area where the cocaine was found is accessible to various individuals, including staff, visitors, and officials, which complicated the inquiry. The Secret Service closed the investigation without determining who had brought the substance into the White House, citing a lack of actionable evidence. The incident sparked significant political debate. I don't even remember the debate. Where was the debate at? If that would have been Kamala Harris, cocaine, we would have heard all about it. They would have dragged Kamala Harris with that cocaine bag left and right. Left and right. Okay? I'm just saying. But nobody ain't talk about it no more. Now, Hunter Biden, one, a lot of his scandals. One was when Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma in 2014, earning a reported $50,000 per month, despite having no experience in the energy sector. People argue that he was appointed due to his father's influence, which he probably was, and then Vice President Joe Biden was actively involved in the U.S. Ukraine relations. Allegations also surfaced claiming Burisma's founder, Mykola Zlochevsky, paid bribes to protect the company from corruption investigations. Of course. And of course, however, no direct evidence has linked Joe Biden to any other proper actions regarding Burisma. Of course. And the investigations by Ukraine did not find conclusive wrongdoing by either. Well, of course, you just gave them another $750 million yesterday. You give Ukraine all the money. Of course they did. Of course they didn't find any conclusive wrongdoings by you, Biden. I wouldn't have either. Every month, I'm walking away with almost $1 billion. Then you had China and CEFC. Hunter Biden pursued business ventures with CEFC, China Energy, and its chairman, Ying Jingming. Documents and emails from the controversial laptop suggest discussions about profit sharing that allegedly included references to Joe Biden. However, no conclusive evidence, it's always no conclusive evidence, has emerged directly tying the president to these dealings. The laptop scandal. A laptop allegedly left by Hunter Biden at a repair shop in Delaware became the source of numerous claims about his business dealings, including emails suggesting connections to foreign entities. The laptop was initially dismissed as a potential disinformation effort, but subsequent forensic reviews confirmed the authenticity of at least some data. The FBI seized the laptop in 2019 as part of its investigation into Hunter Biden's financial activity. Put that under the rug. So he just got a pardon for the last 10 years. This man is a drug addict. This man, son, is a drug addict. He is a drug addict. Everybody has a family member or somebody that knows of somebody that has a drug problem. And no matter how much they want to get their life together, it keeps calling them, like Pookie be saying. The only difference is when it comes to Joseph Biden, he loves his son and he's going to ride for his son. He's going to take care of his son. But you don't do it on the backs of other people's sons. You locked up a lot of people, a lot of young fathers, a lot of young brothers, a lot of young nephews, all of this. You didn't try to help them get any type of mental health resources or rehabs or anything like that. Why did they have to go to punish? Why did you send them to jail, but you made sure not to send your son in jail? You rolled with him. You made sure. This man has done a lot of things. Had sex with his brother's widow. I mean, he a wild boy. Hunter a wild boy. And I'm just saying keep the same energy. And that's what the Democratic Party got to do. Y'all got to keep the same energy. If this would have been Trump's son, y'all would have been, oh my God. Y'all would have went off. Y'all would have went off. Y'all would have found everything. Y'all still going off now. Well, he was convicted of 38 felonies. He was convicted. Da 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 da. Whole time, Biden and every other white man on the Democratic Party is playing in your face. Yeah, like that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That's kind of crazy. That's the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy, baby. But my thing is, Joe Biden said 2020, no one is above the law. But, you know, clearly his son is an exception, which I get. Which I get. But I'm gonna need Joseph Biden before he heads out of office. I'm gonna need Joe Biden to free Larry Hoover. Okay, I'm gonna need Joe Biden to free Jeff Ford. I'm gonna need Joe Biden to free Assad. But we're gonna start with Larry Hoover first. Larry Hoover just went to federal court. His judge that he has at U.S. District down on what's that, ma? What's this? Dearborn. He has U.S. District Judge John Blakely, and John Blakely had asked um had asked Hoover's defense attorney, who had just argued that the Gangster Disciple Street Gang is now a splintered or disorganized group with no hierarchy, and the prosecutors simply fed the mythology of Hoover to keep him locked up. Hoover was asking for a new sentencing hearing under the First Step Act signed into by then President Donald Trump. The feds say Hoover destroyed neighborhoods and lives and ordered murders to maintain discipline. That's why Blakely wanted to know How many murders does it lay at this 73-year-old's feet? That's the question that U.S. District Judge John Blakely asked who? This is the same U.S. District Judge that dismissed Ms. Jackson's case for lack of jurisdiction. It was a very good case. This right here, who's also taking his time with Madigan's case. This is the same judge on Michael Madigan's case. Okay, you done let Michael Madigan lawyers get away with whatever they want. If they need more time for anything, they want to push it back. If they want to wait, take their time. Any of this, right? But you gonna ask his lawyer how many murders has he committed? Biden, I'm gonna need you to free Larry Hoover. I'm gonna need you to free Larry Hoover because that's the problem. You done locked up all the people that can be out here helping our children in our communities know how to be more productive, know how to get out of this game, know that there's much more to life, knowing the rules of the gangs. You done lock all these people up in the early 80s, late 80s and the 90s, but the late 80s and 90s, all through the 90s, early 2000s. Okay, now we got people, the kids out here killing people with skinny jeans on and ski masks. You know, they all running around. You got the government still putting putting guns in freight trains and dropping them in dumpsters and stuff. Still trying to do the same thing, but these kids don't. These kids tired. They want to do something new. They want to do something different. The one thing they do see when it comes to social media, they see that they maybe could be possibly make money, probably can do something. Like you done took all like they done took all the trades out, all of that stuff. Kids out here don't have nothing to look up for. You got a man who needs to come home, Larry Hoover, who's 73, and you got a judge, John Blakely, asking him how many people have he killed. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you, Joe Biden, to pardon Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover has to be pardoned. You got to free air. You got to free Larry. We need Larry. We need Mr. Hoover out. You're gonna have to do it. If before you got January 20th, right? January 19th. Just do that. Free Larry Hoover. Free Larry Hoover, President Biden. The first time I called you president ever. So President Biden, I'm gonna need you to pardon Larry Hoover and Leonard as well. Huh? Yeah.
I put it in maybe to put in the freezer. Water or glass.
What are you talking about? I'm tricked by I don't even rock with Biden. Big Tito. Yeah, you're slow. It's another weirdo. Bye, troll. He probably worked for the city. That was probably Jason Irvin. But anyway, yeah, so that's what we're gonna need. That's what we're gonna need. Larry Hoover. We're gonna need Larry Hoover. We're gonna need Larry Hoover to come home. Now, I think it was 6 days ago, They're trying to get a new judge, Larry Hoover's defense attorneys, because yeah, Blakely needs to be locked up. Like, what was that? The Netflix Your Honor? Yeah, he's yeah. Yeah. Your Honor. If nobody hasn't seen Your Honor, that's a real good story. I mean, a real good show y'all need to see, because that's exactly how these judges are. How about you go in timeout and you figure it out? How about that? So you never respected Biden, but now you want a favor? You talk a favor? That ain't no favor. He needs to free Larry Hoover. He needs a pardon Larry Hoover. I don't know. I don't care about no Biden. I don't know Biden. Biden is a racist. Biden is a big racist, Denise Turner. But you have a democratic mindset, so you kind of slow probably, so you don't know. So bless your heart, Denise Turner, Tenor, whatever your name is. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel about what I said today. I got up to like 150 people, so that's good. That's good. I mean, a lot of people did watch. Um, and yes. So, any questions? Thank you. Like and share. Like and subscribe. I'm almost to 5,000 followers. Please send me whoever, if y'all still watching, if y'all know, please send me them aldermen. That was stealing rental assistance money with George Blakemore, because he's sitting here acting like he for the people and he's an op as well. And that's it. I think today was really good down at City Hall. I didn't get to speak in front of Brandon during City Council, but during the budget meeting, I was able to talk to him. So I did. Um, and did you see again Hispanic for Trump? Uh, but yeah, definitely go red. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I got to talk. Well, I did talk for like the second one, but yeah, I said what I had to say, and that's it. We're gonna get into more of this, but yeah, I just really wanted to come on and talk about this stuff with Biden and the whole situation. But I'm just saying, free Larry, go red, exactly, because that's another thing. A lot of people feel like they're in their feelings that we almost flipped this state red. And in Chicago had a good amount of people that did vote. And I think they worried that black people will start learning their history and will start understanding that it's about policies, or that's the thing. And that's what they don't want. Oh yeah, Jesse Fuentes, make them famous Friday. Exactly. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah. Um so yeah, that's what we gotta do. That's what we will do. And we're gonna get all type of ops away now, because we're not gonna make the same mistakes that a lot of people made, letting not calling Jesse Jackson out when they should have called Jesse Jackson out. Al Sharpton when they should have called Al Sharpton out. We're gonna call out Roland Martin now, Joanne Reed, the answer right. Anybody that is not out here really doing the work. None of y'all ain't doing the work. None of y'all ain't doing the work. Y'all all quiet about him pardoning his son. Y'all got nothing to say. Free all the folk. Free everybody. Yep, they locked up in the 90s. Because that's the problem. You got our kids out here with no direction, no nothing, and you wanted it like that. You wanted it like that. So now that I don't know what you thought. I guess you thought that everybody was going to be with this weird narrative of love is love and we're all created equal and we're all human while y'all violating the U.S. Constitution and the Fair Housing Act and displacing us and redlining still going on in 2024, and you got these black mayors that can't even do nothing. You've got these black aldermen that done did so much dirt they can't help. And you got the white aldermen, they done did so much dirt they can't help. And the Latinos, they done stole all the immigration money just last week, just last year. So it's just all messed up in there. It's all messed up in there. Instead of just paying for what y'all did. Y'all, the local government violated the Constitution. Pay. It's real simple. It's real simple. And if you're not, if you're not, then it's gonna get worse for you. Ain't gonna be worse for me. It'll be worse for you. Cause now I'm gonna ride out. Now I gotta get in office. Now I gotta get in office. So I'm trying to tell you, they really don't want that. So I'm just trying to say, like, settle my case. Settle my case. I never see you just got here, David boy. You don't even know what I was talked about. Y'all just be saying stuff. I never said I would not. you just got here. Troll. Y'all be just coming out of nowhere. Y'all just be trolling out of nowhere. Davy boy. Weirdo. Y'all be needing hugs. Right. Free the guys. Free all the guys. It's crazy out here. Oh, I want to. No, maybe that's for tomorrow. Man, I already said that. Um, you got to free the guys. I do want to say this too. I was going to talk about it tomorrow. No, I am going to talk about it tomorrow. Because tomorrow, we're going to talk about the black women for Kamala. How about put you in timeout? Now you figure out if I'm a man or woman in timeout. So, yeah. I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about the black women for Kamala, the Divine Nine for Kamala, the AKAs for Kamala. I'm about to tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be really good because now them, the one what's that picture that's going around of the great girls sitting on the top of the building while they watching America burn and stuff. Ooh, these are for them. For them. Tomorrow, got a special one for y'all. Special one for y'all. Ooh, I got a special one for y'all. Because ain't no way you mad at me when I'm about to talk to you tomorrow about the rip. Oh, when I say I'm about to tomorrow, woo, tomorrow, it's just gonna be a day. But yeah, so thank y'all for coming and listening. And we'll be talking some good stuff coming up. And yeah, it's understand y'all black privilege, know y'all black privilege, don't let nobody play with you. And that's how that works. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.